And I will say to you that we have recording these, and they're turning out pretty well. So if you'd like to receive a copy of the recording, I'll be glad to send it to you. Just ask for it in the chat space there. I'm Steve Carver. I'm in Dunn. This is my presentation number 936, and I appreciate y'all being on my journey, and let me be on the journey with you. We're operating as the Academy of Entrepreneurs and Associates. All of you are very important, and not only for your first time here, but to keep coming back and help us with the networking and the feedback so we can help a lot of people. You're welcome to contact me by email at any time. Any way I can help you, I'll be glad to do it. I'm not a lawyer and I'm not an accountant, just trying to offer you free advice, and I always recommend you get several opinions before you make any really important decisions related to your financial security or your business. So find your chat button. Make sure that if we're not communicating yet, that you give me your email address, type business that you're in, and any other information that you'd like to share. That way I can better serve you when I'm answering your questions or maybe offering tips and suggestions for you. So use that chat board, and then please respond to my email. That lets me know that you're paying attention. So, as you most of you know already, I've got lots of study guides I can share with you, and I'm very willing to do it. If you some that you want to mention to me, I'll be glad to send to you. Okay, y'all have been on board with me now for 3 sessions. We got 4 more to go. So stay with us, and I appreciate you going steady with us. I will be announcing next week that we're going to have 5 more nights after this session, starting on Wednesday nights. So if y'all would like to keep venturing on and learning, we'll have different topics. In this next series, we'll be doing them in 1-hour sessions. We'll start at 6 and do a hour session, and then those that want to stay on over till 7, we'll go right into a second subject. But what we're going to try to do, working with the Small Business Center at Kenansville, is to offer more topics in fewer nights. So I'll be announcing 5 Wednesday night sessions next week, and y'all certainly be welcome to join into those as well. They'll start after these are over. Excuse me, I've got a cough. Sheila, it's good to have you on board tonight. Looking forward to working for you and with you down in Rockingham. Thank you for the work that you're doing for the county down there, and for your part-time real estate work. We'll try to send you some business as we can. And when you're ready to do your event planning, we've got some folks we can help you do that as well. I'd like to recognize previous graduates that are in business that have taken what they've learned here and made their businesses grow larger and better and doing really well. Recognizing Eddie and Dwayne Fairclough in Sampson County. Their business is growing. Pecans. They got a large pecan orchard, and now they're taking those pecans and turning them into great candies and shipping them all over the nation. Judy Rogers is in Lillington, and she travels all over the central and eastern part of the state, doing a really great job with selling kettle corn and lemonade and other things. You know, that concessionaire business is a tough business to be in. You really got to love it and get out there amongst the people. And she's got a great personality and does a good job. So if you see D&J kettle corn out at an event you're at, drop by and say hello to her. She's one of your fellow Academy associates. Special recognition goes to Jamie Stewart. Jamie's a one-man show at his farm in Stedman, North Carolina. He serves all of eastern North Carolina and coastal. Jamie's got a wonderful herd of beef cattle that he grows. He mostly grass-fed. Of course, when we took this picture, the grass wasn't growing, but he takes those grass-fed beefs and turns them into wonderful steaks, portion packs them, and delivers them right to your house for you. So if you have an interest in getting some local grass-fed beef cut the way you want it cut, Stewart's Farms in Stedman would really appreciate your business. So that's Jamie Stewart. Thank you for all you do, Jamie. So here's the question for us tonight. The question for us tonight is, we're just one speck on the dot, right at the end of that arrow, right here. Right at the end of that area is just one little speck. North Carolina is a big state, right? So how can we as new business people or small business people, we expect people all over the state here to find us if we're just getting started? How's that going to work? Or when we look at the big picture, we're just one little speck on this worldwide global map. How in the world could we ever expect the customer to find us right here in this little place on this map? That's a pretty big question that we just have to realize that we're just one in a billion of businesses trying to get started. So how do we get from these little specks on these maps? How do we get from here? What do we do to make a difference and to let people find us? Well, the question is, do you think you could ever be number one on the Google search? Do you think you could be on the top line and even possibly in the top 18 places that come up when somebody searches for your business without using pay-per-click and without doing any boosting? Is there any way in the world that we can do that? To change that map to just bring everybody looking at us. I mean, bring all the arrows right down to where we are, to bring them right down to Sampson and Harnett County here or wherever you're located, to bring all the attention right straight to your website and to your business. That's why you're here tonight. And that's what marketing is all about. And that's why I get so excited that I can tell you, to go from that little speck on the map to be number one on your list, it's going to take a few things for you to do and to be dedicated for it. You don't need the vision, which y'all are having and working on here for sure. The mission statement is very important because you do have to have the mission to keep you motivated. And there's going to be some time to be invested and maybe a little bit of money. And as you get started in business and expect to make a lot of money, you'll have to invest a lot of money. And by golly, you probably will need a darn great webmaster to help you along. Now, notice I didn't say a very expensive webmaster, but just a great webmaster to help you get up to that number one position. And I'll be using the term look and hook right often, and that's going to play into this really important on how to get to be number one. You have to remember look and hook. And the three letters SEO, which stand for, y'all know what it stands for? Search Engine Optimization. So that's how we get there. And do I know that's true? I do, because you can go, as I did last night, to Google, type in Carver Equipment, and you'll find that this little old fella right here is number one on the list, and the first 18 positions is Carver Equipment or different things that we sell. And we achieve that, and we have a good business being able to be found out here in this great big world. People can find our little business right here in Dunn, operating out of my home office. And I want to tell you, I'm so happy to tell you that you can do that as well. You can do that as well. How? Set the priorities. And this is week 3, and y'all are hanging in here, and I hope you'll keep coming on back, because through these next weeks, this is tonight, is when I really start trying to encouraging you to own these skills and tools that we talk about. Learn those 30 drill skills and get into them, make it work. And I set out homework assignments. Maybe you didn't need to do all of them. Maybe you didn't need to do any of them, but I would really appreciate it for your own sake to give yourself a chance to look at those homework assignments that I sent to you. Own the drill skills, start doing your videos, list down your 5 profit centers and email them to me. I just don't want you to email. I want you to email them to me so I can see what you're doing. I want you to email to me your videos. And if you don't want me to share them, I will not share them. If you allow me to, we'll all take a look and see if we can help each other along. Tuesday, I encourage you to start getting your photos together, your images that you might use in your brochures and your Facebook ads and on your websites. Put some images together. Just having text on the web page as this looked, it is not exciting at all. Wednesday, I wanted you to spend some time on Facebook. Get your own Facebook page up and running. Invite 20 friends to come and be your friend on there. If you don't know how to do that, once you befriend me, I'll start sending people to you and show you how to do it. And while you're on Facebook, encourage other people to become a part of this series and do business with the Small Business Center. It's a good way to start learning how to write testimonials. And today, hopefully, I was going to ask you to find me on Facebook and let me be your friend. Several of you did that, and I appreciate it. But as soon as you can start sharing your information with friends and learning how to do that, you'll learn how to share your business information with all those friends too. And so far, you haven't spent a penny doing anything. These are the 11 study guides that went out in the email that I sent out. And if y'all didn't get them, then I've got your incorrect email addresses, or you hadn't given it to me. So if you did not get the emails, first of all, check your spam files, because when you have 11 attachments, sometimes that'll go to spam. And if I need to resend them, just go to your chat button and say, Steve, please resend the study guides, and I'll be glad to do it. It may be tomorrow before I can get to it, but I will do it. Okay, let's talk about drill skills. We're going to keep talking about them for 2 more weeks, and then hopefully by then you've practiced at home and you own them. So just talk along with me. Just remind yourself that you're just making this part of your business DNA. Why do you want a business plan? So you always know what's left. Why do you want a good marketing plan? So you'll know what's next, what you can do to keep your business coming next week, next month, next year. We need those 3 types of profit centers. We need to know them to bring in new customers, repeat business, and big ticket sales. And we need at least 5 profit centers in our business. The RLC is the raving fan customer. That goes out in the world and advertises our business for us. In DCP, no demand, change to plan, means always be willing to change and make changes because nothing stands still. Always be connecting the dots, A, B, C, D. That means make decisions that make sense. By the way are the 3 words that lead to upsells and stacking profits. 3 ways to catch fish or keep fresh bait in the water. The way we catch customers is we keep sending out constant promotions. What's the best way to find customers? Is to help them find you. We can't be all things to all people, but we can be everything to some people, and those people will become your raving fan customers. Don't pay off long-term debts with short-term cash flow. Why? You'll go broke real quick. What's the difference in marketing and advertising? Our subject tonight. Marketing is looking at the big picture, the long-term. Targeted advertising is looking at the short picture. Now, the new things starting tonight this week. Who's your meanest, toughest, strongest competitor? It's you and your distractions. Who is my biggest, strongest, toughest competitor? It's me and my distractions. There's enough business out here for all of us to do really well if we can apply ourselves with skills and techniques and strategies, but we have to find time to do it and be willing to do it. How do you fight that competitor? We have to achieve and set priorities. Setting those priorities, and I don't get into that pretty deep tonight. Fair market value, you just need to know what it is, how important it is when you're buying and selling, because you always want to buy below fair market value and sell above fair market value. And with that golden rule, you'll end up with more gold in your pocket, no doubt. The L&H I've mentioned once, it stands for look and hook in advertising. We'll spend right much time on it a little later. One of the handouts is Mirror Vision. When I first started this and talking with entrepreneurs and seeing what most folks that are starting in business do not have, I found it to be do not have the ability to look at the situation in front of them and see how it looks through their customer's eyes, or look at the situation or opportunity in front of you and see the possibilities for the future through forecasting. This is something that we just really need to work out. So I was talking with Sheila a little earlier, and Sheila, you know how important this is when you're looking at real estate. If you're listing the property, the homeowner sees it one way and you may see it another, and you know, and we all know through experience that each one of us have different concepts and vision when we're looking at a product or a service. Someone that's in the landscaping business may look at the scene here on the left, the before side. That's what the homeowner has now. And he or she has to have the vision what it can look like when they're finished so that they can present their ideas and images and have a good understanding about how much work it'll take to get it from one point to another. So mirror vision is looking forward, like you've got a mirror and you're just focusing it in different ways with different criteria. We may think ourselves as looking as the person on the right here, but maybe in reality our customers see us as the person on the left. It's kind of hard to do as entrepreneurs because we can all get stuck in the mud and stuck in our own way, right? And who's got a better opinion of ourselves than us? But we must consider how we look in the customer's eyes, how our business and our presentation looks. So if you'll have a chance to read the statement that's in the email to you, that I go into the details, but the bottom line is, it really doesn't make a difference how our ads look to me and you. It makes a difference how it looks to our customer, how it looks to that targeted customer group. That's what we have to focus on. And when we're doing the look and the hook, that means we want our ads to look great through our customer eyes, through mirror vision. So just keep that in mind. Be thinking about that. Our main thrust tonight is going to be on marketing your small business. And here are the things that you kind of got to have to get started. And I'm looking over the list of folks that are with us now. Sarita, welcome. And Valerie, good to see you. I see Shirley's on board with us. Cindy and Datoya, hey, how are you? I hope you're doing well tonight. So let's think about the things you've got to have to get started. And some of you, I already know, have done a lot of these okay. But I also know that probably all of you are missing one or two of these items. A menu of products and services. Have you written down what you're going to do and how much is it going to cost the customer? You need to have at least 5 of those because they will be your marketable profit centers. Please go ahead and write them down, 1 through 5 or 1 through 25. Write them down so you'll start thinking about it, because you can't do your business plan until you do this, because each one of those profit centers will become an income generator. Email them to me if you have any questions. Let me know. Be thinking about what customers are going to be buying from you, who they are and where they are, and how you're going to stay in touch with them. Okay, we've got some more background noise. So when you know who your possible customers are, then you're going to save a lot of money because we're going to focus our marketing on them. And the big thing tonight, and the fault that I feel that most startup entrepreneurs face, is the lack of ability to forecast, just like I mentioned earlier. So I don't mention that a lot tonight, especially as we're talking about marketing, because you'll waste a lot of money in marketing if you do not do a lot of forecasting. So that's why I'm going to spend more time on it tonight. So let's jump into this. Let's see how we can power up and jumpstart our marketing campaign. So forecasting, the reason we want to focus on it is we don't want to waste our money. We want to invest the money. And if we do good forecasting, we can invest our money and then get a return on the investment. Now, some of us are in the farming communities and some of us are not, but most everyone knows that before you plant seed out in the field or in your garden or in your flower pot, if the soil isn't fertile, then you're wasting your time, right? If the soil isn't fertile, you're wasting your time. If it's out of season, like if you're planting seeds in freezing weather and watering them and everything, well, the water's going to freeze and rot the seeds out. So the season is important and timing is everything. When it comes to marketing and advertising, if you're not taking that under consideration, then we're going to waste a lot of money. We don't want to plant seed on infertile soil. I can't even talk tonight, excuse me. At any rate, what we're talking about here is marketing in the right season and at the right time, because we will waste a lot of money if we don't spend our money properly. We're not going to plant the seeds out of season, and we're not going to waste our marketing money out of season. So this past weekend, how about that snow, folks? It was nice to have a nice snowstorm without ice, right? Well, here I was. The snow started coming down, and I was watching TV in the den, and then all of a sudden, here comes an info commercial on Snow Joe's snowblowers, cordless snowblowers. I'd never seen them before or heard of them before, but I said to myself, Lord, have mercy, this person has got his mess together, because he has got because I'd been thinking about forecasting tonight. So I noticed that Snow Joe had it together. I went to the websites, and they had a great website already set up. They had videos already set up. I mean, they were there. They were doing the pay-per-click, so they were at the top of the page, just really ready for the snow to start coming. And as soon as it started snowing, as soon as the weather moved in, then they started advertising on TV and sending people to their websites. When you got to their website where they sent you to, you saw that they had done all their homework and having upsells ready. In other words, you could get the blower and push shovels and salt and all different types of specials for upsells. In other words, they knew that if someone ordered a snowblower, they'd probably order some of these other things if they had them there for people to see and to buy. Then I went to their landing page where you actually buy, and notice how well they had it organized. They had their snowblower plus some upsell stuff. They talked about their warranty. They had a deal of the day to where you could save some extra money. And I noticed over here that they also had a place that you could give them some feedback, and a third function that if you wanted to talk to someone, you could go to chat. Now, that is a powerful landing page. Not only can you pay now the whole amount, or you can finance it, that makes it easy to buy, and that's all about what marketing is about. It gives the customers the options to save a lot of money. Let's see here. Then when you looked a little further, to get big ticket sales, they offered you, if you spend $125 or more, then you could get free shipping. There's a lot of different ways that you can say, and by the way, to keep your big ticket sales coming in, you can do it by bundling, or you can offer a certain sale amount to get a free shipping, and such as that, as they had done right here. I'm sorry. Let me ask you to mute your mics if you haven't done it. We got someone coming in with a mic. I think it's Rayford. Rayford, glad to have you on board tonight. We'll be talking about you a little later on, probably. Okay. Now, when it started snowing, I noticed that Snow Joe went to pay-per-click. That was, they started boosting their ads because they moved up to the top of the paid list. When you look at your internet, these ads that have the yellow background and are at the top, those are ads that have been paid for click. That means they paid extra money to get up to the top of the list, and they did that when the season came in. And we want to think about it the same way. We want our marketing presentation to be out there all year long. But when it's time that we really know that the customers are digging in their pocket, ready to spend money on things that we sell, then we're going to take some extra effort to open our campaign up, as they did by going on TV nationwide. It was just an amazing TV campaign they had. Well, I took the hint, and then I asked my administrative assistant, Maddie. We started putting together some ad campaigns just like old Snow Joe did. This week been real active in forecasting, so we opened up a new campaign on the tillers that we sell. So notice that in here we wanted people to remember that they needed to order it now if they wanted to have their tiller by spring. And how, when you're in the implement business, you don't want to remember to have the tools that people need probably 30 to 60 days ahead of time in inventory, so that when they start shopping, you'll have them, and then when it's time, you'll be ready. Now, I sent you a copy of this early today. I wanted to give you some meat and potatoes to put in your pot here. What can you do, each and every one of you, what can you do tonight and tomorrow to jumpstart your business, to create a sales plan? What can you do to jumpstart an individual profit center, what in particular thing that you want to do, a particular service that you want to add. So here are the key ingredients that I know will work because they have worked for me for so long. First of all, let's identify what it is that you want to push or be ready to sell. Then we need to think hard about what is the date. What is the date that this thing will really sell best? Like if you're selling lawnmowers, the grass needs to be growing for it to be full season, right? So that would probably be April 15th through May 15th when it would start up. If you're going to be serious about selling lawnmowers, I'm going to tell you that you need to start your ad campaign 60 days ahead of time, which means basically right now you would be starting your planning, getting things up and running and ready, not spending any money yet, but getting everything in place. You need to think 60 to 90 days ahead of your season. So what are you doing here thinking, Steve? What am I talking about? I'm talking about developing your pricing, your discounts, your targeting strategies. And just like Snow Joe did, he developed a whole list of items that he could bundle in packages to create upsells. I'll guess that Snow Joe makes very little money on that snowblower, probably very few dollars. But I also guess that he makes tons of money on the upsell items. He's using his snowblower to bring people to the website where he knows that if he can get them there, they'll buy other things from him. That is marketing in the highest degree of confidence, and I do it, and I want to encourage you to figure out how to make it work for you. Also, it's time now to go ahead and create some videos, making sure you keep the look and hook features in there, because that was just like having a free website for you. Once you have your homework done, remember I said the word homework, that's what I'm asking y'all to do now, is once you have your homework done, then you're ready to apply all these strategies and tips and employees to make things happen. So this is the plan. Now let's talk about what action is needed. 5-star action. You ready? Number one, make sure you are promoting this item on your web pages. Make sure your web pages are mobile friendly and your landing pages are really doing good. Remember, this is a good time that we talk about having a good webmaster. I don't know how to make my page mobile friendly, but my webmaster does. And sometimes you just have to keep updating those things. Number two, put those ads on Facebook. Mention them in your personal pages and on your business pages. Once you have them out there on Facebook, you can start sharing them with friends. Not boosting yet, but share them with your friends. But here's what you do want to do. Use your database and go ahead and send out email, I call them email blasting, promoting these items. And it's really important on the email that you send out that you have a link in that email that they can click on to go to the web pages that you have prepared. You see, the email is like baiting the hook for fish. The email, they see that, they're interested, then they go to their computer, find that web page, that landing page, not just any web page, but that particular landing page where you're offering the opportunity to go ahead and buy now. You're basically saying, take my money out of your pocket and send it on to me. I'm working hard for it and I'm hungry. You use the email blast to do that. So the more email addresses you have, the more places you can send out those links to your web pages. Websites don't work worth a darn unless you have a good flow of email coming into them, a good flow of people seeing the links. Now also go ahead and go to eBay and Craigslist. At both places you can buy really low-cost ads. You can buy an ad at eBay that'll stay on there for, I think, over 90 days for less than $5. And you can put your ad up there and just put a price on it high enough or give the information so that you can make sure you can get some business on it. Same thing on Craigslist. Use that low-cost advertising to send people to your website. Send people to your landing pages. That is a good investment of money if your timing is good. Next, get those videos that you made, put it on your YouTube channel. And if you've got the right SEO, titled your videos the right titles, people will find your information at your YouTube channel just as fast as they'll find it at your website. So 5-star, give yourself 5 stars and learn how to sell stuff. Number 1, get your website ready. Use Facebook. Then use your email blast to send out these links to the Facebook pages and your website pages. Go right on over to eBay and Craigslist and post your products there too, and mention your landing pages on them as well. And do the same thing with your YouTube channel. Now, my friends, I want to say to you, this will work, not only for your business as a whole, but particularly for the items that you're selling, especially if they're seasonal. Using this plan, you will waste almost zero money, and everything you send out is going to help bring more money into you. Okay, I promised you, where did that come from? I promised you last week that I was going to share with you the secrets about how to get raving fan customers to work for you. Yeah, and the answer is they will only work for you if you plant brain seeds in their brains. I know that's kind of graphic, so let's just talk about it. But we're asking ourselves, where are these raving fans hiding? You're starting to do some business, and so many of us have a lot of friends that talk good about us, talk like they're going to give us some business. Jimmy Packers came on board. He's got a lot of good customers, and Cindy's got a lot of good customers. But are these what you're thinking are really good customers? Are they sending business to you? Maybe a lot of them are not, because you haven't planted raving fan seeds. You've done everything right, but still, you're looking for them, but you just can't get them to help you promote your business. Well, here's the deal. I want you to get your old shovel out, dig a hole in the top of the head, just like I'm showing it here, and then get your brain seeds out. They look kind of like Rice Krispies, and sprinkle them down and let them go right down on your customers' brains. Excuse the graphics, but I want you to remember this now. You got to plant these brain seeds, and here's what the brain seeds look like. Step 1 is things you say. 2 statements that you're going to make. When you pledge to your customers, so clear that there's no misunderstanding, these words: I'm going to do everything I can to see that you are 100% satisfied. I'm going to do everything I can to see that you are 100% satisfied with our products and services. You can use your words, but these will work. When's the last time a business owner told you that? Maybe never. Well, I want to tell you that I've been telling my customers that in person, in these words, and on every email that I send to them, every quote, remind them of that, and it keeps coming back that people are listening to that. And then you follow that up with another statement. You are going to be so pleased and happy that you chose us to do business with that you will want to tell your friends and family they should shop here as well. Yeah, I'm going to make you so pleased that you did business with us, you'll tell everybody you know they should come do business with us too. 2 simple statements that if you say them, and you can use your own words, and the customer remembers it, you say it to them every time you have a chance, and you are planting raving fan customer brain seeds. Now, there's one more step that you have to do before they become that raving fan, and we'll talk about that a little later. Please remember that. Say this to yourself. Step 1, I'm going to do everything I can to see you're 100% satisfied. Planting those seeds, right? And then step 2, you're going to be so pleased that you chose us that you'll want to send your friends and customers to us as well. It works. It works. I get business every single day from people that are raving fan customers as a result of what another customer said to someone that referred us to us. Now, the COVID is coming and going, and it looks like maybe it's waning off again, but I got to remind you now, I got to take up some time. In today's world, some things you have to think about in our marketing efforts is think about easy delivery. Think about drive-through or takeout or pickup. Make it easy for your customer to do business with you, because during the 2 years of COVID so far, people have got used to this and like it more than they ever have before. And people have got used to doing business on the internet, and so any way that you can make your business work on the on the internet is a good thing as well. The question I need to ask you, what are you doing to reconnect with customers that you got out of touch with during the last 2 years? Some people, this is a kitchen right in Wade, North Carolina, and they passing out this card to people that come in there to remind them that they'll bring the food right out to you, take out, curbside pickup available. That's their way of saying, you know, we want your business. You don't have to come in and do business with us. We'll carry it right out to you. Think about what you have to do to reconnect with your customers. Now, last week we talked about business plan. Several of you have sent me some information about your plan. I'll be glad to look at any of them as you do them. But a part of this business plan, a part of these expenses, look right here, marketing and advertising. So what we're talking about tonight has a lot to do with your business plan as well. You can't have a business plan without having a marketing plan. You got a graphic in your handout. You can take this graphic just like you did with your business plan and make it work. But this is all about, and I like to call it the golden goose plan, because we're after getting this golden egg down here, but a whole lot more. After we do all these things that it takes, coming around with my cursor here, to get to the golden egg, then we got a lot more to do to get back over here to learn what's next. We're going to start here, doing our surveying and our market fit, our pricing and forecasting, doing lots of things all the way down here to picking out our targeted customer groups, as we talked about last week. We're going to do all different things about getting our upsells ready and using the word by the way, doing all that things, and by golly, we will make a sale. And this is where most people stop saying, okay, my marketing plan worked because I made that sale. And that is so wrong. That is so wrong. When you get to making a sale, your work has just started to put together a marketing plan that will tell you what's next. And the reason for that is, after you make a sale, then you get to talk to that customer. And you remind him, remember I said there was 3 steps to a raving fan customer? You remind that customer that you really want them to be 100% satisfied. And when you made that sale, you put that customer information into that database that I mentioned earlier. See the database right here? You're always putting in, you're always adding email addresses to your database, so when you do a blast, you can send out more email to more people. But when you do that follow-up and remind the customer that you really care and you want to make sure everything was right, that is the perfect moment. It's the magic marketing moment that makes everything I'm saying to you work a whole lot better. I don't know if you like bread. I like bread too much. But man, when I can put some peanut butter and jelly on it, it just turns it into magic, right? Well, when we are able to put the magic marketing moment over the top of our marketing and advertising, it is magic, because when you're able to say to them, thank you for your business. Didn't you tell me you were going to buy this in September? Or who was that neighbor you mentioned that was interested in doing this? Or what size shoes do I need to have for you next time around? Or what's the next thing you're planning on buying? You start quizzing the customers and getting information out of them to help you plan your business, to help you forecast when you're going to have sales, to help you forecast what the demand will be, to help you start writing a customer list. And let's say that you're a cosmetologist, and you would say to that customer, now, I need to get you down for your appointments. Why don't we just go ahead and plan that every other Friday you'll be in at 10 o'clock? Do everything you can to fill your calendar up. Yes, sure, you'll have some cancellations from time to time, but when you start making appointments with a customer, then what that represents on your calendar is cash flow. And what's next is not, I'm going to be broke, but what's next is, yeah, I'm going to have some cash flow to operate. And when you have a good marketing plan that's doing this for you, doing a lot of the stuff we're going to talk about later, you'll be able to sleep a lot better tonight, because you'll know that some business is coming your way, and you'll have, through that magic marketing moment, you'll know what's next. Now, this has got to be your plan. I'll help you with it all I can and give you some fundamentals, but every plan is going to be a little different. And I'll say to you that as you get into it and you start spending some money advertising, especially in print media, like in the local newspapers, and they can be quite expensive, a lot more than maybe you even dreamed they would be. But everyone in the advertising business has a plan. And who is the worst person that you can take advice from spending your advertising money? It's the person that's selling advertising. Let me repeat that. Who is the worst person you can take advice from? It's the person selling advertising, because they want a company to be very profitable, but which company? That's right, their company. I want to encourage you that it's your plan, it's your marketing plan that you need to follow, not theirs. Because here's the little secret. Once you have a plan and they come to you showing you how their package deals work and this and that, you're just basically going to say, that is all well and good, but here's what I have to work with. Now, you draw your plan up around my budget, around my goals. And you know what? They'll be glad to do it. Because if they're pros, they'll be glad to do it. If they're not pros, you might not want to do business with them either way. But the message here is you stay with your plan, and when you're talking to the professionals selling print media, selling radio, TV, cable vision, signboards, brochures, all different types of advertising, everyone will negotiate with you, because that's what people do that are in business to stay in business. You need to stay away from take it or leave it at marketing. That is, when you say to your customer, you got one choice, you got one price, here it is, take it or leave it. Because, my friends, people will leave it. Unless they're really hungry for one particular thing that you're the only person in the world that's got it, they're going to shop and look for a better deal. But if you have this yes, if, no, but negotiating tools working with you that we'll talk about in week 6, you'll find ways to hold that customer there and different ways to find common ground, so that you are not just saying take it or leave it. You're saying, look here, let's find a way to make this work for you. Here's something new. Just don't talk about it tonight, not in the future. It's the 27 times rule. It's a very important rule in my history and in my future as well, and I think in yours. You need to know so that you don't get surprised. People aren't going to buy from you the first time they talk to you or the second time. As a matter of fact, most of the time a customer needs to see your presentation or hear about you or be reminded that you're real 9 times before they're going to do any business with you. And if you're getting in touch with them through advertising and marketing, they will miss seeing your best placed ads 2 out of 3 times. So if you got to see them 9 times, then they're going to miss you 2 out of 3 times. Marketing and advertising campaigns need to be based on 27 to make sure that you're giving your chance and your customers a chance to see what you're doing. So we're going to call it the 27 times rule. And here's kind of what it looks like. What I do is I put a chart out just like this. I'll list my 3 weeks down by different ads for 27 different ads. That's giving me a chance for my 9 times rule times 3. And if I'm running continuous marketing ads, as I do low-cost ads at my website or pay-per-click or Craigslist or eBay, as I've just mentioned earlier, which I just did some ads there today, and I'm spending $5 to $10 or $15, I can stretch that out over 27 different ads and spend $270. So I know that in this particular campaign, long term, I'm spending $270. That's putting your marketing budget together. But when I've got something special to do, like snow joes or tillers or things, I might want to buy some more expensive ads that are larger, have more graphics in it, more look and hook, and those ads are going to cost me more money. Matter of fact, in this template, I'm using $55 ads and $125 ads to promote this particular thing that we're getting ready to do. Well, if I buy 27 of those ads, mixed up like I have them here, I don't spend $2,465. That's a lot of money to old Steve-O. I don't have that kind of money to spend, and by golly, if I do it, I'd be afraid that because we already know that if I buy those 27 ads, only 9 of them may get seen, and we don't know that those customers are going to buy from us. But that's a heck of a lot of risk, right? It is, and I'll tell you that inexperienced people and a lot of people that sell in advertising will take that $2,400 from you and laugh at you. Whether you sell 1 penny from it or not, they have boosted their profits and their commissions at your expense. So what would I suggest that you do? I would suggest that we do the continuous ads at low dollars and mix in some expensive ads with them. Why? Because if you've got that continuous running mix, then the 27 times rule, you're okay. And if you've got that continuous ads out there, then they will accept these new ads that you're putting in as real and go ahead and act on them, provided they're familiar with you and know that you're someone that's been in business and are trustworthy. And when you use this type of system, you're able to get your campaign out here for $750 during that period of time. Now, which looks better to you? Which looks better to you? Spending $2,465 or $750? Right. But to get to that $750, you need to be continuously spending $270 per month, so that when you do have expensive ads to come in and mix with it, they will be effective. So the message here is, it is smart to make the investment for long-term, low-cost advertising, because that's one thing that gives you fertile ground. Because the ground will always be fertile a little bit, provided that people are familiar with your company. And then when the season comes, jump in and add these big ads into it for a little bit more money and save a ton of money. Save a ton of money. But now I need to say to you, there's always 2 sides to every story, it seems like, right? What completely blows away this important 27 times rule that I just talked to you about? Yeah, and it is important, and I do want you to use it. But more importantly, I want you to know there's one thing that just blows that rule away, and that is one little raving fan customer destroys the need for a 27 times rule. Well, we all don't have as many, none of us have as many raving fan customers as we want. But if a raving fan customer goes up to you and recommends that you go buy this food at a restaurant, or tells you what a great place this is to do business, they don't have to tell you that 27 times or 9 times. Just one time to do it. That's why, as much as I want you to focus on the 27 times rule, I want you to focus more on creating as many raving fan customers as you can. And what's the secret to doing that? Give them those raving fan customer brain seeds, and that's one way to get your business up and running. Always tell your story in your marketing and ads. I've noticed, I've looked at a lot of y'all's presentations on Facebook and the business ads that some of you already have. And what I'm going to have to say to you now is, each and every one of you, except Latoya. Latoya is a shining example of an exception. She has done a great job of making a personal presentation. People will do more business with personalities than they will with text on web pages. That's why the pictures are so important, the photographs. That's why it's important that you do the videos, because you become an individual instead of just a web page. So you're able to tell your story 100 times better with photographs and videos than you can just in text pages. Let people know they're doing business with you and just not a company. It will make a big positive difference from you. It changes the way people think and the way that they act. It changes the way they feel about it. Now, how would you think about seeing just a page that said veterinarian, I wear a green shirt and I love pets? Well, you could say that in just 2 or 3 sentences, or you can replace 10,000 words with this one photo. Think about the kind of photos that you might have to promote you and your business and start sharing them. Now let's kind of plant this picture in your mind: the salt, pepper, and the pepper shaker. The M on the salt shaker represents marketing. The A on the pepper shaker, advertising. Marketing is like salt. It salts away our business. It preserves our business, preserves our memories. We'll use a lot of salt. Pepper, on the other hand, we just use it to spice up things, and we don't use a whole lot of pepper usually. It's the same way with marketing. Marketing is the salt. Advertising is the pepper. We use the pepper for special occasions. We use marketing all the time. Both of them cost money, and we need to make those investments. Marketing is a piece of advertising is a piece of the marketing pie. And it may be the major piece, and most always it's at least 60% or more. The advertising is, because you're using higher dollar ads to do that. So when someone asks you which is bigger, your marketing budget or your advertising budget, I want you to be astute enough to know that your marketing budget is always the larger. It's the pie, and the advertising is just a piece of that pie. The difference, remember, marketing is long-term, advertising is short-term. This will be one of your quiz questions at the end of the Academy series. Okay, it's today. Here we are on Thursday. What are we doing? Have you done your mission and your vision and your promise statements? Have you written down a few sentences? I've sent you several samples of it. Have you applied this to your business? You're not doing this for me. You're doing this for your customers and for yourself, because you'll use those statements on your business cards, on your brochures, at your website, and in your emails. And generally when you're talking to people, it will give you a better presentation when you're making introductions. Your mission and vision statements are basically what you're going to say in your introduction videos, right? Also, or you have a cell number available for your business, or you're promoting a cell number so people can send you text numbers. Text messages are very important in today's world. Make sure your business is able to get text messages. Have you thought about the different ways you can use DBA, doing business as, so that you've got your company name, but you've also got the other names that you can go by. I think I counted up at carverequipment.com. We're using DBAs, probably more than 30 of them now, in different ways that we're marketing our products so that we'll be more attractive to different customer groups. I did some ads today on some of our sickle bar mowers, and I changed the name of them from sickle bar mowers to solar farm mowers, because so many solar farms are going up nationwide, and we've got a really good product that will work that. So I got a feeling that people that are searching, new contractors and solar farm owners, are typing into the internet solar farm mowing. So I don't have some web pages named that, some photographs, a lot of SEO. So there's going to be a good chance in a few weeks when you type in solar farm mowing, carverequipment.com will come up. I want you to apply those type of strategies with what you're doing so that you can have the right DBAs and SEO to work for you. Again, I need the menu of services and products and some type of pricing, and you're going to need it too for your business plan. Everyone is good. It's good to have a list of frequently asked questions. In business, you're going to be asked the same questions over and over and over and over again. They may have a few words different in it with the different customers, but generally you're going to get the same questions over and over. Go ahead and write those questions down, and then right under it, write down the answers to them. Really good answers that make a lot of sense. Take some time, write them down, and then you know what you can do with that? You can use that list at your website. You can use that list when you're sending out a quotation. You can use that list when you're talking with customers or having a seminar or a webinar. You can use that list to help train your employees, because those employees are going to get those same questions, and if you can give them a heads up with these good answers on all these questions, you know what that's going to do for them? And it really does it for you too. Build self-confidence and really build self-assurance that you're ready to do business. So have a good list of those questions and the answers. It'll come in really handy for you. Make sure that you are moving forward with your internet presence on Facebook and or your web pages. There's another way you can have an internet presence, and that's with barcodes. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on it, but barcodes are moving into the world right now pretty strong, and in some markets, very strong. I'm sure that Sheila has seen this because more and more advertising folks are using these for their different houses, as are car dealers using the barcodes. Someone take their phone, take a picture of that, and then go right straight to a web page. That's what it does. The barcode helps your customer find your landing pages. So give some thought to whether or not you think that can apply in your business. Here's some examples where you see them all the time. This was on some greeting cards that we got. So you use your cell phone to take a picture of that barcode and go right straight to their page where it's at. Also, on anything that you're doing print-wise, always remember to put your website, your domain name there so people can go to your website. Your website only works when people are going there. One way to get them going there is you use and promote it all the time that you can. This is how Hallmark does it. Excuse me. Also, they use their logos, spread it around. You're doing this work so you can help people remember you and find you. All different types of things. Here's some different good examples of different doing business as. Hallmark.com is also doing business as Hallmark Licensing and Marketing Company. The more that you can do, probably the more customers are going to find you. Your internet presence needs to send a message, and that is in some way, whether it's done as a soft touch or just out loud, you need to let people know that everything is negotiable. Yes, you can buy this and you can pay one price for it if you're paying with cash, or another price if you're paying with a credit card, or another price if you want to do a wire transfer, or another price if you want to pay it this way or that way. But you know what? Even though I've just went through 5 or 6 different prices for the same product, my profit stayed the same. It did. But you gave the customer different options that they could buy it and save money. And those type of strategies go a long way against the take it or leave it proposition. What's the message you want your customer to have? We can negotiate. What's the message you don't want you to have the customer to have? Take it or leave it. Because that leave it is very attractive if that's the only thing they have. Have you got your business cards ready? Have you done your business cards? Send me a copy of it. Yeah. Put some flavor into it. Use some colors. Put some good messages on your business card. Think about it. Nice thing about it is don't order 15,000 because as soon as they come in, you'll probably think of something you wish you had done different. It happens to me every time, and I've been doing business cards every year for 50 plus years. So, but you need a business card now. If you've got 2 or 3 businesses, I want to encourage you to have 2 or 3 different business cards, especially if one business might take away from the other in the customer's eyes. Remember, mirror vision is very important. When you hand them that card or that brochure, the message needs to be, I'm here for you, you're very important for me. It's not that, I am so busy I may not even get around to talking to you because I got all this stuff going on. Be careful with putting too much information on your business card and make sure that that card is going to be attractive to that particular customer. Here's a copy of my business card. I try to let them know my business name and our website name, remind them we've been in business a long time and do all we can to give service that satisfies, and then how to get in touch with it. So then on the back side, I have some more information. Here's a brochure that Judy did for her kettle corn business. She got real serious with her business last year. Got a website up and running, did a really nice brochure. If you're thinking about doing that and you need some help with the graphics or want to get a contractor to help you with it, I've got a couple of people that can help you with that design, help you with your images. Cost you a little bit of money, but in the long term, you'll be glad you did it because you have a first-class product. List down your targeted customer groups. Who are the customers that you're most likely to do business with, and so that we can get that market campaign going their way. Write down your introduction. a personal introduction. Write it down, script it, so that you can make it on your video and get your speech down pat. And you might have a different introduction when you're talking with a customer about your real estate business or your equipment parts business or your barbershop business or your administrative assistant business or your business down in Wilmington where you're promoting personal travel. The more businesses you have, the more introductions you're going to need to be ready to make. Like Rayford Wells' introduction for his towing business would be one set of facts, but if he was really focusing in on his horse training business, he would use something different. So be ready to go both ways and then do videos of them so that you'll be able to share that with people on the internet. You can do it. A lot of people are doing it and keep doing it better. Steve, I just don't know how to price my stuff. I've never bought and sold products before. That might be something that Hal is working with. You a little bit of experience on Craigslist, but if you don't do it big time and keep working the things, generally when you're looking at an item, I want you to be able to sell it for 3 times more than it cost you. That's a good place to start in your thinking process. I can buy this for $100 and sell it for $300. I've got a good chance there of not getting in trouble by doing that. So think about that, how to price your products and services. The different pricing strategies you will use, how are you going to merchandise it and show it off, and are there some psychological methods that you'll want to use. The 3 times rule, let's talk about that in a minute. That's your cost times 3. Your raw cost $25 times 3. Why 3? 1/3 of it's $25 is for just to get back your raw cost. Another $25 is to cover your cost of doing business, your CODB or your overhead. And then that leaves you room to make $25 to pay your taxes and to have some profit. So the selling price on that $25 item at $75, you got a pretty good chance of not getting in trouble and actually making $25 profit. Okay? Now, somebody would say, well, I can buy it for $25 and double my money and sell it for $50. Well, if you sell it for $50, basically all you've done is covered your raw cost and your overhead, but you haven't really made any profits yet. So we're always going to keep that in mind. Now, once you figure that out and you end up with that $75, then you have to take it to the next step and see how that plays out in the actual market, in the marketplace. Do you need to adjust it up or down, or maybe just walk away from it? But that's a good place to start. A lot of psychological methods are used in pricing. That's why you see a lot of 99 cent. That's why you see a lot of people in their presentations that say only my price is only so and so, or that's why you'll see things bundled. That's why you'll see things that are marked up way up high, so it's higher than anybody else. And then you'll see other people mark things real down low, so they got the cheapest price in town. All those are different strategies that we'll use, and we'll talk about more and more of those, and I can send you some good information there. Important thing for you to consider now is how to keep your calendar booked up. If you're selling time for money, the calendar is the gauge of how well you're doing. So remember, I want your business plan to settle out at 4 days a week, 4 weeks a month, and 12 months a year. You should be able to have a profitable business and build your business plan around that. We went into that into depth last week. Learn how value added can help you raise your profits. Value added, we'll talk about big time next week, is itemizing and thinking about and making sure the customer knows that you're adding things into your proposition that the competitors are not, and you're not charging extra money for it. That's the little things that you do that other people are not doing that makes what you're selling a better value than what the competition is. Fair market value is going to come into play every time the word marketing comes up if you're a pro. Are you a pro? Yes, you're going to be a pro. Pro don't mean that you're large or been in business a long time. It means that you really learned these basic fundamentals, and one of them is fair market value. Now, here's the definition. I'm going to slow down and ask you to read it and let it sink in. I'll get some Coca-Cola here. Where do you see fair market value in your mail recently? Well, if you own any property, you got a tax bill recently or a listing, and that amount, that appraisal that they put on it is what the fair market value is in the consideration of the county as appraisers. That is what your property or my property or anybody else's property would sell for if you had a buyer that wasn't under any pressure and he knew all about the item, working with a seller who was not under any pressure, and those two people that had a lot of sense and familiar with the market, when they agreed on what the price would be, that would be the fair market value. The key factor here is that no one was under pressure. Because if the buyer is pressured to sell, for whatever reason it is, if the buyer is pressured to sell, the price goes down. If the seller is pressured to sell, price goes down. But if the buyer if the buyer is pressured to sell, the price goes up. That means there's not many of them, it's demand, and that's what we're dealing with now is inflation. When the buyers are under pressure to get stuff, they got money they want to spend, and they're spending it and taking up the supply. Therefore, the buyers got pressure, and the price is going up. When the seller is under pressure, like in a foreclosure sale, the price comes down. Understanding all those things can make a major difference in what we pay as business people for different products. Now, here's an example. I'm using a car here for an example. At any big city in North Carolina, you might on one day have a car that's at a car lot, a used car lot, selling for $13,000, or the price tag on it is $13,875. Across town, that same model car with the same mileage on it, probably not looking as good or been fixed up or the tires aren't as good, but that same basic car might be sold for $4,000 at an absolute auction sale. That's a lot of difference, isn't it? And my friends, this is entrepreneurship. Each one of these slots, each one of these stair steps as the price goes up represents a business opportunity for someone that knows how to take advantage of it. Notice that in the middle here is the fair market value. The fair market value here. If this was new products, the fair market value is usually about 15% over the manufacturer's invoice. See here, the dealer invoice, if this was a new car, including factory freight, was $10,000. Well, the fair market value on that car would be $11,500. But it might be advertised on the dealer lot at $13,875. These numbers play up and down. So the person that can buy at $4,000 and sell at $13,000 is in a position to make a lot of money, right? But they're probably don't have to do a lot to that car, or maybe wait for the right buyer to come along. Each one of the steps up has some cost involved and some investments that are involved. But in entrepreneurship, here's your key. Find out where you can fit in on this chart. Maybe you're going to start up here and buying at just below fair market value and selling a little bit above. One of the important keys here is being able to turn the turnovers that you have, because you don't want to tie up your money a long time. You want to buy items that you can sell pretty quickly or at a pretty guaranteed rate to be able to stay in business. But rule number one, always remember, buy below fair market value and sell above, and you're probably going to be all right. You remember this fella? He was a fine gentleman, U.S. Army soldier in Vietnam. He served alongside who? Who did he serve with? Was it Gomer Pyle? Nah. No. Who was the fellow he served with? Forrest Gump, right? Well, what we learned from Bubba Blue, a real important lesson about 20 years ago, was he was the very best person I'd ever seen in describing doing business as titles or special titles, because Bubba knew that you could sell shrimp as barbecued shrimp, pepper shrimp, shrimp burgers, shrimp sandwiches, coconut shrimp, shrimp gumbo, And different people like different shrimp different ways. And some don't like it other ways. So Bubba knew that if he itemized all these different items, he would be able to remind people that he had shrimp like they want to eat. So at Bubba Gump Shrimp Company, they would probably have a web page for each one of these different kinds of shrimp. They would market them separately, and therefore shrimp soup would become a marketable profit center, and stir-fried shrimp would be a marketable profit center, and we would market all of those with gusto because there's a lot of people that like them that way. If we just said shrimp, folks might end up at the shrimp page, but they'd have to do a lot of looking around to find what we got with shrimp gumbo. But if we had a shrimp gumbo web page with good SEO in it and good looking hook promotions, people would go right straight to a page that showed shrimp gumbo, a place where we could buy it and order it, send our money in, and they would get the business. That's how you take a simple product, put a lot of different names or DBAs or private labels on it, and sell to a lot of different people. The DBAs, as described by the Bubba Gump Shrimp Company. Master the use of DBAs. If you're unsure about what you might have that you're doing in your business that you can use different DBAs, just send me a note. I'll be glad to give you some ideas. You got to remember, in this world, most advertising doesn't work, and spending a lot of money on advertising is a good way to spin yourself into bankruptcy and out of business. If, however, you use two strategies, the look and hook test and the 27 times rule, there's probably a good chance that you're not going to waste your money in marketing and advertising. Now, what do I base that on? Well, you're looking at a fellow that over the last 62 years has spent way more than $6 million in North Carolina advertising my company and my products. Way more than $6 million. And that's a lot of money. And you know how much stuff you have to sell to generate $6 million in profit? A lot of stuff. But the rest of the story is I know right now that I wasted 75% of that money. I'd have been just as well off to put it in a shredder as spending it. Why? Because at that point in time, I was maybe where you are. I didn't understand look and hook, and I didn't understand the 27 times rule. But the very first 6 months that I started putting those two strategies into play, I saw my profitability just really start going up very quickly, and our sales went up too, because we were spending the money as investments instead of just spending the money because some advertising person said that's what we needed to do. The L and the H. The L and the H. And don't be offended here, because this is where I got to say to you, I want you to become a very good hooker. Yeah, very good hooker. Don't get me wrong now, because I want you to use the look and the hook, that kind of hook, okay? The look is the L and the hook is the H. And what that is, the look is every time that we do a presentation or an ad, we want it to be different and dramatic and simple and assertive. We want to do it right every time. In other words, it needs to look good so that people will spend a few seconds, be captured by it, hang around there a few seconds, and maybe read what's in the ad. Just don't put junk out, but really work on your ad. Examples using good images and colors. And then the hook, making sure there's a hook in that ad, and the hook is the text that says a call to action. That's what the hook is. So when I'm saying I want you to be a good hooker, what I'm saying also is every time you put an ad out here in the world, put something in that message that encourages people to do business with you now. Because if they don't do business with you now or right away, you won't know if that ad worked or not. You won't know if it was effective or not. But if you put those hooks in there and people respond to them, in other words, you're getting nibbles like you're fishing, you'll know if it's working. Now, knowing that and keeping up and a record of what you're doing in your ad campaigns will tell you in a few months what not to do and what to do more of. then your investments will become better investments and you'll get more return on them. So the look and the hook. The look, make sure it's worth reading, and people will spend a few seconds there. The hook is a call to action that says, act now, call me today, call me right away, and here's why you need to do it. Now, that might be discounts that you're offering, that you had planned to offer. It might be by telling people you need to order it now if you want to get it before spring. That's what I'm doing with my equipment business. Or a lot of other strategies that you can move people out of their easy chair over to their phone or their computer and start doing some shopping with you. That's what advertising is supposed to do. Not just gives people something to read and smile and laugh about. That's wasted money. But when you got the look and the hook in there, you're planting seeds. You're planting seeds for future business. Remember that, the look and the hook. So anytime that you're doing that, always, anytime you're getting ready to spend some money or send out some free advertising, ask yourself, is there some reason in here that someone will want to do business with me right now? Who are your specific buying groups? Who are the people that you can identify with? Who are folks in your community? There's a large group of them that you can, if you mention them, they'll come and do business with you. It might be veterans, it might be soldiers, it might be the Legion or the VFW. It could be teachers or folks that work at the social services department. It could be women in general or grandparents in general or seniors or members of the lodge or the Shrine Club. It could be Chamber of Commerce members. Folks that you think that you can focus in on, get email addresses, send advertising and low-cost advertising to them for a fairly small amount of money that will generate money coming back into you. That's good investments. That is very good investments. And to those folks in general that we're sending material out to, remember the marketing. That's why we want all of these people in our email blast that we send out the marketing information to, low cost and doing it on a regular basis, to remind them that we're real, that we're here, we want their business. And then when you have a particular market that's coming into play, a certain season, you can boost that up a little bit, make some larger ads, maybe spend a little bit more money on them. And when you send those out to them, you won't have to send them 3 emails instead of 27. That's the difference, okay? So here's an example of a Teacher's Appreciation Day. Maybe in your business you could do that. And in my business, I used to do Farmer Appreciation Days, Veterans Appreciation Days, whatever type of business you're in, figuring out who in the world it is that you can maybe encourage to come and see you and reach out to them and help them do it. Now, it's 2022, my friends, and maybe you didn't think the internet was going to have anything to do with your business, but I will assure you that it does. Maybe no one's going to sit at their computer and do business with you, but they got their cell phone, and if they're shopping on their cell phone, that is through the internet, so you've got to keep that in mind. That means that you need to have a sale page related to your business that is efficient and powerful. Take the time to have that sale page. So my challenge to you right now is get your cell phone out, type in the search terms that you think people would type in to find your website, and what comes up on your telephone screen. If it comes up with a mobile page that encourages them to press a red button and send you a quote and ask for a quote, or press the blue button and call you up right now, or send you a text message, then I'm saying you're on the right track. Because the very minute that you can get a shopper getting in touch with you directly, that puts you ahead of all the competition. It's like cutting the knees out from underneath your competition if your mobile page gets them to contact you and to do more than just look at your website. Your Google My Business account is equally as important, because you don't have to have a website, you don't have to have any other presentations, but you can have your business up and running tomorrow by establishing your Google My Business account. You can put tons of photos, tons of advertisement, lots of information there. I just updated my Google My Business account. I've been promising to do it for months. Finally got around to it yesterday, and I was amazed at how far behind it was. And so it's something that we all need to do. And it's one of those things that it's easy to put off. So let me ask this. See, Jack's been in business a long time. Jimmy's been in business a long time. Sarita's in business. Valerie's is. Are your Google My Business accounts up to date? And Rayford, do you have yours established? You have your Google My Business account established for your towing service? There couldn't be a more important business to need Google My Business than someone that's in the emergency towing business. So give that serious thought. If you need help with it, let me know. I'll be glad to give you some tips. Your landing pages is where it happens. If you don't sell on the internet, those pages that people land on need to be encouraging them to go ahead and do business with pricing, with options for them, with the right kind of words that let them know you want their business now and give them reasons to call you now. Testimonials are so important that I've asked you all to practice writing some testimonials. And hey, I'll take some credit. Do some testimonials on this Academy series. Send it to Bart or send me a copy of some feedback on what you think about what we're doing. When you learn how to write testimonials, then you're going to be able to write testimonials for your own business and share them with customers and give them some ideas about how to reword them and send them back to you. Nothing wrong with assaulting the first ones you get in. That's just the way it needs to be done, and I'll be glad to help you with it. Now, at our website, I've got testimonials going back about 7 years. So at carverequipment.com, you can probably see close to 1,000 testimonials there. Why? Because the biggest reason a new customer won't do business with you over the internet is they don't know you or think that you're trustworthy, or that you will deliver on what you're promising. But if you've got scores of testimonials up there from satisfied customers, it just washes that anxiety away. It is so important. So pay attention to this. Let's get that done. I'll be glad to give you all a reference or a testimonial. Just ask me for it. I can attest to the fact that you're very conscientious and trying to grow your business in the right way. Any kind words just help out a lot. YouTube, you cannot ignore it any longer. If you want your business to move forward, spend some time doing your videos. Spend some time doing your videos. I want to see you do that. So I'm going to give some personal challenges on out here now to Cindy and to Jack and Jimmy. You've been promising me videos for a year or longer. You hadn't come through yet. And Sheila, you got some places that you could show some videos. Sarita, you've got some up, and I hadn't seen them on your Facebook ad. Valerie, you've done a great job with videos. What are you waiting for? If you're in business, help people do business with you, please. Yep, I'm acting like a coach here, and I'm trying to motivate you. Why? When I put videos on one of my web pages on a particular product, I see within the first week start getting more and more interest and activity in it. It's like your hair's on fire on a web page. If it's got a good video there, customers will seek it out. And then you can share your video there and put it on your YouTube channel, and people that find it through YouTube end up going to your web page as well. So it's a double whammy. It gives you two strikes at that customer. Please listen to what I'm saying. It is so important and so powerful. So let's bring it on in for a landing now. Let's talk about this thing. Remember what we've been talking about. Every chance you have, be the very best person you can be. Of all the things we talk about, if you get the customer's confidence, if you get them to spend a little time with you, and it moves up to the next level that you're ready to close a sale, or they start taking a closer look at your activities or you as an individual. And that's the thing about when you are doing personality selling, it's important that you be the best person you can be. Now, having had exchanges with you, I know that you guys are good people, and you need to share that in different messages with your videos. Help people. Be willing to spend some time with them and do what you need to do. What is the magic moment? Yeah, that sounds a little childish or elementary, maybe, but it's not. Because the magic moment in marketing is that you put your marketing plan together. You went through all the steps. you made the sale, you put the information into your database, and then you followed up. You followed up with that customer to make sure they were 100% satisfied. Now, you had already told them, I'm going to do all I can to see that you're 100% satisfied. And you will want to tell all your friends and neighbors because you're going to be so happy. All that did was planted the seeds. But when you go back to them and say, I sure am glad you're happy with that. I want to remind you, I want you to be 100% satisfied. Now, who was it you said was going to buy this, or you start getting that information? When you remind them that they're 100% satisfied, that's when that seed starts growing and blossoming, and they feel an obligation to recommend you, and they will do it. Not only will they tell you and give you information, but from that moment forward, after you followed up and guaranteed their satisfaction, when they mention your name or they think of this product, there's a good chance they'll start advertising for you. They'll start marketing for you full time, and it's not going to cost you a penny. So through all this array of different strategies and all, what does it boil down to? One customer at a time, making sure they're happy, spending the time with them to have a personal relationship when you can, and doing all you can to know that you're working for their 100% satisfaction. In doing that and following up, those people will start advertising and marketing for you. Now, that group of customers will send you a whole new groups of customers. So the magic marketing moment is yours to have. Now, what else is magic about that? Once you start experiencing this repeat business and raving fan customers giving you good feedback on what you need to be stocking and having ready for next month or next year, or what other products you might need to add, or what they're interested in, the magic here is that you move from being scared to death that you're not have enough business to stay in business, to having some self-confidence to say, okay, I'm on a little roll. I think we're going to be all right. Yeah, things are tight this month, but I got enough raving fan customers that I think will pull me through next month, especially because I've got all these email addresses and I can send out reminders that we've got things. And guess what? I've got some items that have seasonal things. So I've got, I'm in the suntan, bathing suit, and sunglasses business. So I'm going to start getting my ad campaign together so that when May 15th comes around, they're going to know I'm here and I don't get a lot of business. Or whatever else that you've got coming on the market. You know, plan ahead. You know, start forecasting, which is going to become such an important business skill for you, and that is forecasting to help you move your business forward. So I will say to you, thank you. I know that I've sent a lot of stuff your way tonight, and I'm sorry for overloading you if I did that. But read those handouts, send me emails coming back, and by golly, we'll make it happen any way that we can for you. Remember that the Academy goes on for 4 more weeks, and then we got 5 weeks after that if you would like to join us and earn another certificate. The topics will be similar, but there'll be a lot of brand new topics we'll be talking about, and we'll do that. And we'll certainly want to be working with you. So let me go right here.